Alright, yo, what is up, guys? This is Shelf56 coming with you guys with a brand new video. I want to be doing a different video with you guys today. I'm going to be talking straight to you guys because competitive Lucioball just came out. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely want to rank up. I'm already in Masters, so I'm going to be giving you guys a whole bunch of different types of tips and tricks on what to do, what not to do, and how to rank up to be up to where I am in Masters. Without further ado, let's just head right in. Tip number 1, communication. It's one of the simplest ones, but it's also one of the most crucial and important to your team if you really want to win. I would recommend going a 3v3 just because it's easier to communicate. You don't have to waste time and visibility going through the I need healing. Waste time going through my ult is at this percentage. And you also waste visibility as well because you have to take time to do it, and then the screen gets a little darker, so it'll be a little hard to see, especially with all the text that is around it. And when you have communication, it's extremely easy because you can say what you have in your ult, you can say what you're doing and where you want your teammates to go so you can make plays, because it's really easy to rage at your team, especially when you guys aren't communicating because you guys can't read each other's minds. So communication is extremely crucial when you're trying to make your plays. And you can also say if you want to go aggressive, or if you guys want to switch, and when you have your ult. And I'll go into more of the strats later, but you can just say what you want to do and where you want to be, so you guys can try to make the most effective plays. You guys can also call out where the enemy team is, so you guys are aware at all times, because in this game you need to know where all the players are, just so that you can keep an eye out if one of them is trying to make a secret play, or if one of them is going to try to sneak up. So it's always good just to know where everyone is on the field as well. Tip number 2, positions. Alright, so there's two kinds of positions, and then there's a sub position. There's the goalie. Obviously, what the goalie does, the goalie blocks the goal. He stands right in front of the goal, makes sure that none of the balls goes in. The goalie is obviously at the goal. The setter is usually either on the left or right side, but it could be kind of towards the middle. You don't want to be too close to the middle because that's where the person who makes the goal usually is. One thing you definitely don't want to do is don't change positions right at the start of the round. When you guys spawn in, one of the best things you can do is wherever you guys spawn in, just stay in those positions. Doesn't matter how good you guys are, just stay in those positions, hit the ball, and wait until the ball is on the other side of you. Because if the enemy team is faster than you and you guys switch positions, they could catch you right in the middle of switching positions, so you could just easily go and make that goal right when you guys are in the middle of switching. You guys are unprepared. Tip number 3, using your ultimate. How to use it and when. So what your ultimate does is that instead of last year how it was a magnet, this year it makes you run faster, jump higher, hit harder, and your cooldown is drastically reduced down to like 1 second per boop. And you could also wall ride extremely fast. So a way that you can use your ultimate is you can use your ultimate right at the start of the round. So say you have your ultimate and you spawn in like one of the sides. If you're on that side, you can use your ultimate, charge right in, and most of the time you can catch the enemy off guard. And you can just aim high to shoot the ball, and from there it'll just go right over their heads. And if they're unprepared, you can make a straight goal like that. I've made a whole bunch of goals that way. So it is definitely something that works. You can use your ult on defense. Don't be afraid to use it on defense. It is extremely useful, especially if an enemy is coming up and they're right in your face and you already used your boop. And say they hit it again, you could easily just pop your ult. Times that you want to use it is either when you want to be aggressive, when you're trying to set it up, the ball's already in the middle but no one's near there, and there's enemies behind you, so you can just rush right in to make the goal. Another thing you don't have to do is use your ult when they ult. You do not have to use your ult when they ult to even the field or whatever, because all you have to do is just play defense. As soon as they pop their ult, just everyone rush back into the goal, play defense, double or triple stack goalie, or just have double stack and then like one defender. Even though they are faster, it does require a lot more accuracy to shoot the goal. So if you guys are double stacking goalie, then you guys can easily defend it and you can just knock it right out. So you're going to be good either way. As long as you play defensively when they use their ult, they'll waste their ult and then you'll be fine. there's no need to panic when they ult, and you don't have to use your ult as well. You can also use your ult to draw their ult. If you use your ult and you're playing really aggressively, sometimes that'll make them want to use their ult, and if you're already putting the pressure, that higher the chances of them wasting their ult since you're already putting all the pressure. Tip number 4, punching. Punching is something that you should not forget to use because it can help you in a really good pinch. It's not as good as a boop, but it does come in handy because it will get the ball towards wherever you're going, but then the boop will always outplay the punch. And it can be used on both offense and defense, so it comes in handy in all kinds of situations, so never forget to punch. Tip number 5, body blocking. Body blocking isn't as good as booping or punching. I mean, it only slightly moves the ball, so don't really rely on it too much, but it is there, and it does have a small effect on the ball, so you can use it. Just even your body can be used to apply pressure to the enemy team, just because your presence can also make them freak out. The ball does bounce off of you, but I wouldn't rely on it too much. I would try to combo like having it hit with your body with a punch, but don't rely on it too much because it doesn't. It's not a drastic move, so I would just stick to booping and punching, but just know that your body can deflect the ball. Tip number 6, hitting the ball upward. Now this is one of the things that can throw the enemy team off guard, and it is way harder to defend. If you're hitting it up, it is extremely hard for the enemy team to defend, especially if they're not near your jump pad, because if they just aim up and shoot, sometimes they'll be too high, so their boop will not even do anything. And even if they are at the goalie and you still aim high, it is way harder to defend on the air than it is on the ground, because if you just keep shooting it straight and it rolls on the ground, all they have to do is just get in front of it and then they can body block it and punch it. But if they are in the air, they have to jump up, they have to maneuver towards where the ball is, and they also still have to effectively boop it. And sometimes if the ball's in the air, it can even ricochet and it could go into the goal. To hit the ball upward, you actually have to aim up. If you just do a small flick upward, it is not going to do anything. So one thing you definitely need to do is just aim high and just shoot. And also, if you do launch the ball in the air, it is easier to get the ball towards where you're going, because like I said, it is way harder to defend it. So then if you just aim high, it's probably going to go on the enemy team like 99% of the time, unless they're pretty good at defending. So it'll help you get the ball towards where you're going, and then from there you can easily just set it up. Or if you're the setter, you can easily just set it up so that way your teammate can go make the goal. Tip number 7, wall riding. Now this is something I don't see a lot of people do, but it can come in handy and help you maneuver way faster across the field. It's way faster than running and jumping or just using the jump pads to jump. Although you are restricted to just the sides, you can easily just wall ride and you can just jump towards the middle. So the maneuverability on it is actually pretty high. And if you use your ult and wall ride, you go extremely fast. So you can easily use it for mobility. And even if you don't have your ult, it's way faster than just simple running. So you're going to be able to outrun the team, and you could also use it on the offense and defense. Tip number 8, jump pads. So first of all, the jump pads can come in extreme handiness, but you do not want to overuse them. If you over jump, the enemy will catch you off guard, and it's way harder to defend, especially if you're goalie, or just if you're anyone. If you're jumping around, and say you're jumping to the left, or you're just jumping around, but the ball goes to the right, you're not going to be prepared because you're in the air. It's going to be harder for you to jump. But meanwhile, if you're on the ground, you're waiting near the jump pad, and they hit to the right, and if you easily just jump to the right and you hit the ball, it's going to be way easier like that. And then you can also just aim it high, then that makes the enemy team also jump, so you could easily just set up like that. One tip that I definitely use is if the enemy is on one side and it's obvious that they're going to hit it up and maybe towards the wall, just wait near the jump pad and jump towards the ball to hit it. I know that sounds simple and obvious, but in the games that I played, even up at Masters, most people just wait on the ground until the ball comes towards them to hit them. So if you are able to use the jump pads and just jump far in order to use it, you are definitely going to get an upper advantage on them, just because you're able to jump it in the air and you're able to change the course of the ball before it even touches the ground. And you could also use them to traverse the map. So they launch you pretty high and you go a bit faster. So you could easily use it to jump from one jump pad to the other or forward and backwards. So you can also definitely use them for mobility. Tip number 8, time to accelerate. Now this is another one of those things that is extremely crucial because it can come in handy. But if you use it just all the time, without really thought of it, you're going to get caught in bad scenarios where if you did have it, it could have given you the upper hand, you definitely would have used it. So one time that you really want to use it is if you're in the starting round and say the ball is left or right, only the person closest to the ball could use it, and say they go in, get the ball, while the other person can follow them without using their ability and wait until the ball goes somewhere to actually either defend it if the ball doesn't go your way, or to use it to attack if it does go your way. If the ball is in the middle, both of you can just go, or one can just accelerate, the other one stay in the back just in case, or you can use it later to accelerate forward and attack. So it's just like the one that I said earlier, except now it's just that the ball's in the middle. Or both of you can rush it, because usually the other two people on the other team will rush it. And if you guys rush it as well, and the ball, if you guys hit the ball your way, it can go towards the goal, and you could also catch the goalie off guard that way. And during the match, if it's moving towards the goal and someone is already at goal with the ball, save it, wait in order to set it up, or if there is a mistake, then use it to quickly save the game. If you're a goalie, what you could do is use it if you're only going towards the sides. One thing that I've seen people do is use it to accelerate while they're jumping. It doesn't help you or affect your jumping speed if you use it while you're jumping. So what you want to do is use it when it's either going to the side, just so that way you can get there faster. The jumping, if you're in the air, the jump pads are going to do all the work. But if you're on the ground, then you're going to need to use your ability very effectively. Tip number 11, attacking and goals. So when you're attacking, aiming high is key. I cannot stress this enough. You need to aim high, because you aim high, you get the ball towards where you're going, and you could easily just have your teammates go forward and you could apply pressure that way. And when you're attacking, you need to be as aggressive as possible. What you can do is have someone either on the back, the middle, or the side, depending on the position of the ball, so that they can easily rebound and keep the pressure on them. As soon as the ball comes in contact with the goal line, it's a goal. It's not like Rocket League, where it can be half in, half out, so you could kind of be in goal and then you could try to save it that way. Just aim for either the corners. If you aim high, remember it's harder to defend in the air, so you could easily make a goal that way. But then if you do aim towards the lower corners, just keep in mind that you are hitting towards the ground, so it is easier to defend on the ground. You can aim just wherever, but corners are usually one of the hardest spots to defend. And another one of those simple but hard tips is keep an eye on the ball. It is actually really easy to lose the ball, just because, like in Rocket League, there is no ball cam. So you're going to need to keep moving your camera around so you can see the ball. So watch out for the marker on the ground that shows where the ball is, and even the marker that's on your screen, or just follow it with your camera, because if you lose the ball, then obviously you can't make any plays, so you can't make a goal. Tip number 11, defending. One tip that I have during defending is do not jump around. Just like I said during the jump pads, don't overdo it. It is going to mess you up. Try to use your ability that makes you faster effectively. That is going to be crucial when you're defending, especially when you're double stacking or triple stacking goal. Try not to bunch up, because most people's instincts are going to be just heading straight towards the ball wherever it is, and there'll be like 2-3 people on the goal. So try to have maybe just one, at max 2 people on the ball, and just have the other person in a strategic location, just so say you could set it up just for a goal, and use the jump pads to your advantage. Tip number 12, goaling. So obviously this is a crucial job because most of the weight is on your shoulders, because if you miss a goal, that is completely on you, no pressure. But some things that can help you is to not be inside the goal. Again, this is not Rocket League, so you need to be in front of the goal, and you want to be towards the middle of the goal. Don't be jumping around either. If your team is attacking, do not push up too much. Your goal is goalie, because it is extremely easy to make across the map shots here. If there's no goalie, all you have to do is launch it high and towards the goal. It bounces over everybody, and then there it is. You win the game. If you push up and the enemy is coming in and they're in control of the ball, they can just hit it towards the side. The goal is undefended, and say they have an attack setup ready, the enemy can just go in and make the goal that way. The best thing to do is just send it flying away from the goal because of the cooldown. Alright, tip number 13, strats. This is the final tip I have for you guys, but then these are just some strats that me and my teammates made up. If you are attacking, it's the strat I already said earlier, that the one is on the side, the other one's mid. The one on the side is a setter. They just set it up, and then the mid person goes in, uses their ability, goes in fast, and then just makes the goal that way. Another thing you're gonna see in this game, which is one of my personal favorites, I just call it volleyball. So it is when both goalies are just launching it back and forth in the air, and it's just across the map to see which one of the goalies mess up. One thing you can do is, say your goalie isn't exactly on par, you can double stack goalie, which is have 2 people on goalie. You can have one person move up towards the enemy team, and then say right when the other enemy is going to hit it, just launch it up, and then that's going to catch them off guard, and then that could bounce in towards the goal, and you can also just make a shot that way. But if you're defending, one thing you could do is, I've already said it, have a double stack or triple stack goalie, which is just have either 2 for double, 3 for triple goalies, and so you can play extremely defensively, or you can have, say, like 1 defender and 1 goalie. Just that way the goalie is the backup, and then the defender can just push the ball away whenever the ball comes towards them. But keep in mind that does leave you 1 less striker, and usually everyone rushes the ball, so it'll be hard to do a 1v3 unless you have your ult. So just keep that in mind if you're going to use that strat. And that is all the tips and tricks I have for you guys. Sorry if it sounded a little awkward. I haven't really done a video like this, so thanks for sticking around if you did watch towards the end. I hope you guys liked it. And leave in the comments if you have any questions, because I will definitely answer them right away. Or if you have any tips or tricks that I missed, or if anything you just want clarification on, just leave a comment. Why not? So with that, I'll see you guys later. Peace.